Welcome back to our special show, Triumph for Bajaj. We're in conversation with the Managing Director and CEO of the company, Rajiv Bajaj. You know, I'm curious, Rajiv, because since another global motorcycle brand is on the block, Ducati. So there were a lot of media reports speculating that Bajaj would tie up with Ducati, and here we can say, we were the only media channel consistently saying that it was not Ducati, because that did not sort of make any strategic sense for Bajaj Auto. But could you, for the record, for the benefit of our viewers, also tell us that did Ducati approach Bajaj Auto? Were you seriously considering the proposal at some point? And if yes, why didn't you go through with it?
Yes, I can tell you a little about that. A, Ducati never approached Bajaj Auto. B, KTM and Bajaj together did certainly express interest formally in Ducati. Why? Simply because it's a fantastic brand. It's doing very well. It must have a great future. And as a motorcycle company that prides itself on being a motorcycle specialist, how could we not look at an opportunity like that, which comes only once in so many years, if at all. So we wanted to know more about it. We wanted greater insight, and that's why we expressed interest. We got some information. And the reason we decided to pull out of that race a little before 19th of July is twofold. One, because instinctively we always felt that Ducati was too close to a KTM. I mean, for every naked Ducati, for every adventure like Ducati, for every full-fed Ducati, we have a KTM that's doing so well. So the question before us was, should we try to put in the same effort all over again for perhaps a marginal incremental gain, picking up 55,000 Ducatis and trying to move that up? Or should we put all the resources behind KTM and Husqvarna and indeed Triumph, which in fact, in my opinion, has a bigger potential logically than even KTM and Husqvarna do? So the answer clearly was that the incremental gain would be greater here. And two, from whatever we had heard, and we had no way of knowing anything very accurately, the money being talked about was not logically justifiable. I mean, €1 billion or €1.5 billion for a company that size makes no sense. Finally, to your point on the media speculation, your fraternity thrives on speculation. And what do people like us do? The best option before us is to use it to our advantage. If you look at what I said at the AGM, I said very clearly that we will make an announcement in 2 weeks. And it is well known that the Ducati matter was not to be concluded until at least September. If only you guys would listen to what I said, you would have known that it is not Ducati. What did you guys do instead? Except for CNBC, of course. You went ahead and said, it's Ducati. People didn't even bother to check with me. Okay? So I get publicity twice for the same event.
I take no responsibility for what my peers do, Rajiv, just the same way you will not take responsibility for what others in your fraternity do. But tell me a little bit about, global alliances, because we've seen global alliances as far as passenger cars are concerned. Renault, Nissan, they've recently tied up also with, with Mitsubishi. So is now slowly even the two-wheeler industry moving to that format where we're going to see more and more, global brands sort of cooperating together as research and development costs also increase? Is that a trend that we will also see increasingly in this space?
Let me say a couple of things. This is a very good question. See, first, Ron, let me put on the table that we have a 33-year-old relationship with Kawasaki, which is still functional. The best manifestation of that today is that we still work together in the market in the Philippines, where we are usually either number one or number two in that market. Consider this, that we are the only Indo-Japanese venture or the Indo-Italian ventures that still continues to not just survive but to thrive. So I think it says something for Bajaj that it is still with its partner for 33 years, although all other joint ventures or collaborations have fallen by the wayside. Consider also our relationship with both Kubota on the diesel engines, and of course what is better known is KTM. I mean, look at how well we have done. So I think there is a way to go about a successful partnership, and I think we understand that well. And to me, it rests on 3 points. The first is mutuality. There has to be a big enough reward at the end of the process to satisfy the dreams, aspirations, appetites of both partners. If that is not there, then that relationship won't last. So I think that is the starting point. The second point after mutuality is reciprocity. Both partners have to bring, not just on day 1, but on day 2, at 10th year, 20th year, they have to continue to bring unique value to the relationship. It can't be that because you are an Indian company, you have certain domain knowledge, you bring in certain value for the first year, for the first 5 years, for the first 10 years, and not after that, then that relationship doesn't last. I think the reason we are still with KTM, Kawasaki, and Kubota is because in terms of our own technology, quality, engineering skills, our cost competitiveness, our world-class quality, we keep adding value to the relationship. And if I may say so, also in terms of our understanding of brands, markets, position, perception, consumers, etc. So reciprocity also means that in a partnership, both partners have to sacrifice. This is very, very important. Otherwise, ego gets in the way. So I think this is the second important factor. And the third and last one is complete transparency. We have complete transparency on every aspect of the business with both our partners, Kawasaki and KTM. Now, I would say these are the 3 reasons why we have such solid partnerships and why I feel that this partnership we have struck with Triumph, which, if I am not wrong, starts off for a period of 13 years or so from today, as we speak, I think it should be perpetual. I don't see why it would not go that way. Now, coming to the specific point you're asking me about, why is this happening and will we see more of this? I think, Ron, it's less to do with say development costs and stuff like that. Not only because these costs are not a big issue, but particularly for the two-wheeler industry, as opposed to the four-wheeler, the car or the truck industry. These are not big costs actually. I always say that we are more like the FMCG industry in terms of our cost structure than like a truck maker or a car maker. The important consideration is this. Jack Trout was our marketing guru, and unfortunately he passed away recently. But he always said, the biggest risk to business is creeping commoditization, because it creeps upon you slowly. Over time, before you know it, you have lost that USP or that differentiation gradually. You don't even realize it as you lose it. And you start competing willy-nilly, directly, indirectly, more on price. So creeping commoditization is the greatest risk to any business. Now, how do you guard against that? I think there's fundamentally 2 things. At the front end, your brand. And what is a brand? At the end of the day, as we said, a brand is nothing but a good story. The reason Royal Enfield is a great brand is because it has a great story. It's the first motorcycle brand, and that is its story. So a great story is one part of the solution or the answer to creeping commoditization. And the other part is within the company, which is outstanding operational excellence. And you will see that success is achieved not because of one or the other, but when there is a perfect alignment between one and the other. And the reason these alliances are becoming necessary is because you have a KTM or a Triumph out there, or a Husqvarna, which has an outstanding brand, a sharp brand, a great story at the front end, but doesn't have the scale or the operational excellence as a result of that scale that a company like Bajaj does. And in all humility, while Bajaj might be a really slick factory, that brand does not have the charm or the aura that a KTM or a Triumph has. So then what is the option? The option is either to go with your ego essentially at the end of the day and say, no, Bajaj is a great brand and I am going to make every single product under this name and take it the world over. It won't work. I call it the Volkswagen Phaeton phenomena. The minute Volkswagen made a large car as expensive as a S-Class, nobody wanted it. So the answer is to come together in healthy, positive partnerships.
All right, Rajiv Bajaj, on that triumphant note, thank you very much for joining in on this special and wish you all the luck with your arrangement, your new alliance
very much, Ron.
with Triumph Motorcycles.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bajaj.